or welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Rose and I love DIY passions, where I transform clothes into something awesome and just simply pretty. Today I'm going to share with you how I made this flowy ruffle tiered back-tie dress, so please keep on watching. In this DIY, I used 3 yards of lacquer fabric in maroon color. The first step is creating the main bodice. I cut a rectangle with 25 inches width, which is your full bust measurement plus 1 inch for seam allowance, and 8 inches long, which is the measurement from your upper bust or where the strap of your bra starts to your belly button. I get the center of the fabric and draw a straight line across using a ruler. From the center, I measured 6.5 inches to its left and right, which is the quarter of your bust measurement plus half inch for seam allowance. Then draw a straight line across using a ruler. Make sure that the measurement of those two lines will be the half of your bust measurement plus seam allowance. From center again, I measured 3.5 inches to its left and right, which is the half of the measurement between the two breasts plus half inch seam allowance. Then draw two straight lines across using a ruler. Make sure that those two lines is the measurement between your two breasts plus seam allowance. Then from the top corner, I mark down 4 inches, which is from the shoulder to where the strap of your breast starts. And draw a diagonal line from 6.5 inches mark line to the side edge, and cut it after. Then from the top edge where I marked the 3.5 inches line, I mark down 3 inches, which is the measurement from the upper bust to your nipple. Then from the bottom edge where I marked the 6.5 inches line, I mark up 4 inches, which is the measurement from the under bust to your belly button. It will be the dart in the side area. From the dart line, I measured 1 inches to its left and right, which will create a triangular shape. Do the same step to the other side. Then I fold the 6.5 inches line and draw a curved line. Then sew along the curved line, and repeat the same step to the other side. After that, you must have something like this. The next step is sewing the dart to both sides. And after that, you should have something like this. The next step is making the ties. I actually cut 6 pieces strips of fabric. The 2 pieces has 1 inch width and about 18 inches long, which will serve as the strap of the top, while the remaining 4 pieces has 1 inch width and about 24 inches length. And I connect the 2 pieces so that we'll have a long back tie. To hide the raw edges of the ties, I fold first the top edge, then fold over to the center the 2 sides, then pin it to hold them in place, then sew along those pins. After that, you should have something like this. I also top stitch the other side of the ties to make it nice and flat. After that, put the 2 pieces of the main bodice right sides together. From the end part of the back, I measure 4 inches. It will be the position where I can put the strap of the dress. As you can see here, I put the other end of the strap in the bust line, but I changed the position and sew it between the bust line and the dart. close the edges except the bottom. And cut the excess strap, but make sure that the strap is fitted on your shoulder before cutting it. The next step is making the bottom or the skirt of the dress. The skirt consists of 4 tiers. I will tell first the width of every tier. First tier is the same measurement of the bottom of the bodice, which is 25 inches, and I added 5 inches, so it will be 30 inches. The second tier is 50 inches, which is 2 times the original measurement of the first tier. The third tier is 100 inches, which is 2 times the measurement of the second tier. And the fourth tier is 200 inches, which is twice the measurement of the third tier. The total length of these 4 tiers is 22 inches, which is the measurement from my belly button to over the knee. The length of the first tier is 4 inches, the second tier is 5 inches, the third tier is 6 inches, and the last tier is 7 inches, and a total of 22 inches. Starting from the first tier, I get the center of it and mark it using a pin. Mark also the center of the main bodice. Attach the first tier to the main body center to center. Sew it with a straight stitch from dart to dart because it is the part where the back piece starts. When sewing it, sew at least 1.5 inches of the first tier to the main bodice so that it will have a casing for the adjustable back tie. Just like this. Fold the excess part of the first tier, but make sure that the ties will pass through it because it will be the casing. I'm now closing the opening of the main bodice by folding it once and sew along the edge. Before sewing it, insert first the ties to the casing so it will be sewn together. And the result must be something like this. I remove the pins that I put in the casing and hem the end of the first tier. The result must be something like this. The next step is closing the casing by folding it once and sew it after. Be careful not to sew the ties during sewing, otherwise you have to seam root it. After sewing, it should be something like this. The last step in finishing the main bodice is also creating a casing. Go to the second tier by sewing first a basting stitch or a loose stitch in the top edge. Then pull one hanging thread so it will create a gathering. Measurement of the gathering must be the same measurement of the first tier. I divide it also into 4 equal parts and I put a mark using a small notch. You can do this step before gathering the fabric. The next is the third tier. I also mark it into 4 equal parts. Since it's too long, I decided to sew the loose stitch into 4 parts also, so I can divide the gathering evenly. Like this, and yeah, you can see there is so many hanging threads. Also use a different color of thread in sewing the loose stitch so I can remove it easily later. You can see here I stepped the loose stitch where I put the mark. What I did here is I attached first the third tier to the second tier, starting from the center using a pin, and the other marks follows. Start gathering it in every part evenly. After gathering, just sew it with a straight stitch. But before sewing, make sure that the measurement of this will be the same measurement to the second tier. The same steps to the fourth tier. The next step is attaching the second tier to the first tier using a pin and sew it with a straight stitch. Before sewing it, make sure to leave at least half inch of the side seams, then sew it close down to the bottom. Step in this project is hemming the bottom of the dress. And now I'm finally done. And this is the final result. I also made a matching turban. I already have a video on how to make this. I'll just put it in the description box below. For me, this is one of the best DIY I made so far. Some part of this is very time consuming, but I had fun doing it, and it turned out awesome. I super duper love this. You can wear this in any type of occasion, and if you want, you can also transform it into a maxi dress by making it longer. If you want to try this, please tag me in my Instagram account. I'll be very happy to know your creation. I hope you like it, and if you do, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget also to subscribe to my channel and on the notification bell so you'll be updated to my coming DIYs. And I'll see you next time. Bye!